everyone, it's Jean from the Inky Owl Studio. I am back to part 3 for the design team project for Queen of Mirth. I'm using, she has gifted me with her Botanist notebook digitals, and I put that down below, the link to that. Um, and I'm having a really good time. And so we're working on this little, it's a Lapbook slash folio. I'm using chipboard, and so if you go back to part 1, you'll see how I assembled this outside. And then last week in part 2, we did the stacked envelopes. And today we're going to be I'm going to be working on this section over here. And what I've done is I've created a flip out that works something like this. And I simply took an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock and cut it down so that it would fit this way. And I scored it about 1.25 inches and then 1/8 of an inch past that, so that these two little tiny score lines, there's like a tiny spine. Just because we're going to be putting stuff inside, it just kind of helps give it some room. So once I got that scored and put down, and I'm putting it down pretty close to the seam. You don't want to go over the fold, of course, but you want to get pretty close. And then I scored this side, so I'm within the border of the edge here, and another 1/8 of an inch with another little tiny teeny spine. And once I folded that over, I cut this to where it needed to be, and I used my envelope punch to put a little tab in there. But you could trace a regular file folder tab and cut around it if that's what you wanted, or you don't need to do anything. So there is the little fold out that I'm going to be putting in here, and I think I'm going to go ahead and use Fabri-Tac. It's a pretty reliable glue for sure. There we go. We get all this down here, and we'll just slip it in. Plus I'm gluing on top of the cloth that we used for the spine. So I think the Fabri-Tac would be a good choice. And now, yep, just so we don't get over that, I'll just come down. Just love Fabri-Tac that you can maneuver a little bit even after you placed it down. That little seam's hard to see. There we go. Yep, that's right. That's where it needs to be. So we'll just press this down in here. So this paper, I printed cardstock on both sides with, this is from Artie Mays. This is her Healing Herbs digital. This particular one here, I thought it blended really well with the colors. So once I've got that in there, now I plan to put a flip in here. And again, I printed on both sides of the cardstock, and I'm using some graphic fairies from her paper. So I will be just made a flip, made sure I had enough here for to score about a little over about 3/4 of an inch, I believe is what I put down there, so that it will flip up, and we can put a little bit in here. Now it's really hard, you know, of course this is from the Premium Graphics Fairy site. It's kind of hard to tell you how to find it because of the way the search engines work. But it is in her fern collection. The fern one is on this one here. I forgot where that one's from. But you can go through all her papers and look at them all and eventually find the print you want. So we'll just put this down here. There we go, like so. There's the flip up. And then I'm going to put a pocket down here below. And I put a little thumb notch in there. And, oops, actually, no. Actually, it's this one because I wanted this side up here. Put a little contrast in there, just a little bit. There we go. That's going to go right here. Let me eye that up for a minute. Okay. And I'm just going to be making a regular pocket. Now you could put a gusset in here. You could put tabs that you fold over on the to make it even more to hold more. But this is going to be fine. Yeah. So let me make sure that I got this down right about right. I don't want to go over the border too much. There, that looks about right. This right about there. Maybe over just a little tiny bit there. Okay. So there is a little contrast between these two pockets here. So inside here, I'm going to be putting 4x6 journaling cards. I don't want to lift it up before it gets too dry, but that's what I'm going to be putting in here eventually. It probably will be these, but it will probably be a few other things. But that's what is going to be slipped in here. Some larger journaling cards is the purpose of that. And then I'm also going to be putting a pocket on the flip up as well, so that we can put some tags up there too. This is really kind of fun to build these things. I really didn't have a definite plan. I just sort of played around with, let's put pockets and flips in there. Just kind of being creative. It was kind of fun. And there we are. Make sure we're not impeding that fold there. That looks good. So it was kind of nice, kind of coordinated there with the different two different prints. So that 8.5 by 11 cardstock piece that I did really went a long way. I'm sorry, I must be getting out of frame. Sorry about that. It's just, I guess I need to readjust my tripod here a little bit. So there's that part in that section. Now you could also put a tab tie like this down here if you so want to. Don't think we'll be needing it, and if I do, I can put one in there later. But I'm kind of liking that. That's good. All right, and then for this part over here, I am thinking about putting a pocket in here as well. So another pocket, and this one I have taken some cardstock, and this is part of a collage piece of paper you get in her kit. And I think this is another part of that page. So it's really cool. You can break it up, and each one looks a little different. And so I think I'm going to be putting a pocket in over here on this side. Guess it doesn't matter which way it goes in. So I will slip that in there, and let's just give that a glue. And run a glue down here. I hope everyone is is okay. I know there's been a resurgence, I guess, of COVID. Hopefully it's not affecting where you live. And let's just put that in there. So I've been trying to clean up. I think everyone cleans this time of year. It just feels right. It feels like this is the time you should really be cleaning. And it's, you know, sorting out what do I use, what don't I use, and all that kind of stuff. It's such a, I don't know, every time I look and see my craft room, it's like, I know, I need to go through it. I was looking at it the other day, and there was stuff there. There were projects, on you know, UFOs, unfinished projects, that have been there since I moved to Florida 10 years ago. And I brought them from Michigan. I'm just telling you. I mean, it's sad, very sad. And it's like, but the trouble is, when I do that kind of cleaning out, then I see these projects and I go like, oh yeah, I can do that. Let me just set it aside, and I'll get to it. And I've done that a couple times with these projects, and this is the end. It's the end of the road. The end of the road. It has to go. Just has to go. So I have here a belly band. And I like this background so much. I didn't want to cover it up too much. So I took a vellum and I inked around it. And that's going to be the belly band. And that way, when I stick a tag behind it, so for instance, if I use this, then, you know, it kind of makes that tag look pretty, stand out, look nice. So I'm using vellum for the belly band. But the vellum is a little plain, of course. And then I got this burlap paper. I mean, it's not real burlap. It's a photograph made into a piece of scrapbook paper, but it looks real. Looks pretty real there. And I don't know if you ever collected Stampin' Ups, but this is a long time ago. This is probably 15 years ago. But there's other punches is very similar to this. So what I did is I look for a piece of scrap paper here. So what I did to punch these little guys was I slipped in the paper, but only to the point of these two little areas right here. And that's where I punched it. And that's how I came to make these little cute tabs. Really cute. And I am going to glue these on each end, so it helps the vellum to, you know, be a little bit more than just a piece of vellum. I'm just going to put these on here. And put one here. Now I debated on whether to either cut the vellum as skinny as the width of these tabs, or to leave it like it is, because I originally cut the vellum just like this, and I went ahead and just left it that length. And the reason being is I wanted kind of a good amount for something to stay behind and not be, you know, falling out too much. Now I thought that maybe these little tabs needed to have a little piece of fake hardware, as if it's like a little kind of a, I don't know, button or something that is in there, as if, you know, this is what's keeping those little burlap things there. So just punched a little hole out of dark piece of paper. There we go. And now I will glue this in. So essentially I look at this project as just making a lot of pockets and storage places, but trying to choose a variety of them. And this is just one piece of that variety. Okay, and stick that in there about like this. Okay. There we are. So that'll be a cute little place to put something in there. So far, this is what we got going. Now I might end up making this a file folder tab down here, like this here. But I can always do that. It doesn't have to be done now. But I think I will think on that and see what I end up with. So there's that. And then here's this. So I'm going to be putting a little notepad right inside here. And let me make that first. Now this is something I learned from Dawn at the Book Vandal Shop. And so I have these, this is from the Queen of Mirth as well. She calls them journal cards, but I just cut them down to make a little note for my notebook. And on the back side I printed, you know, just the plain sheet that she gives you there. So first thing I need to do is put holes in here, and I want to measure a place to put holes. Try to get to the middle. Now I recently got a Tim Holtz ruler, and I love this part of it where you line up the 0, and as long as your two sides, like this is 2 1/4 and this is 2 1/4, you're in the middle. I mean, it's just like, it's very cool. Should have gotten this a long time ago. So now I can come in, let's come in 1, 2, let's come in 2 here. So I will put it like right here, and I'll come in 2, 1, 2, ½ inch here. So there we go. I think that's about right. And get my hole punch. And that is the middle here. So there we go. I got those there, and get my note paper, and I'll just take the top one off. Stick it up here and put it in the middle. Then just see where those holes are there. Now I'm going to put a hole. Now this is going to be so that it can be refillable, which is kind of cool. This is why I'm doing all this. So we will punch this, and we will punch that. Okay, and I got this here, and then I'm going to get my brads. And I'm doing this on memory, and now I can't remember if we went all the way to the back or not, but I don't think we did. I think this is where we go. And then the idea then is to slip this section onto something so that it stays in like this. So now if I did both ends, let's just see how this works. But anyways, if you want to refill it, all you got to do is take the brads out and put in new holes, and you are ready to go. And oh, you know, I forgot to put this little top on. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I get to talking and did not think about that right. Okay. So let's just put on this little top here really fast. Little tiny top. I can't think of any news on my end. Nope, I just been busy with just like I say, cleaning things out. You know, I try to explain to my husband that for me, and maybe it is for, you know, a lot of crafters, I don't know, but it's emotionally spent. It takes a lot of emotional energy out of me, because I do look at all these unfinished projects or supplies that I bought to do something with and never did, and it's like this little voice says, well, you failed at that. You failed at this one. It's just, you know, I have to like say, well, no, I didn't fail, I just misjudged, or, you know, I had good intentions and it just didn't work out. And okay, there we go. Excellent. Excellent. Oh, that's much better. Yes, I like that much better. It seems more stable this way. A lot more stable. All right, so that is going to go in here. Now I've got a couple of ideas for that. I think I might make a split pocket out of this here. And this here is from the kit. This pretty iris here, and so I think I might make a split pocket and then slip this into there. So I think what I'm going to do is make this slit pocket off camera, and I will link down below where I have done this in the past. I have a little video on that, and I'll be right back. Okay, the pocket's completed. The only thing I did different than the video is that I put the cardstock on the back rather than the front. There's a little piece that goes in the back, and I think in the tutorial I put it on the front. Well, I just put it towards the back of it. So there we have our little pocket for our notepad to fit in. So there's that. So I guess we're done for today. We're finished out with this particular section. Will be really cute. I still think I might be putting a tab here. Don't know. Just playing with that idea. So that part is done, and so the next time we come back, we'll be working on this section here. So thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing so that you can see the progression of this little folio project. And you have a great and crafty day. Bye!